everybody, welcome to my channel, Bagoday Crochet, where we talk about everything that is yarn and crochet related. And you know what? Every once in a while, we talk about knit. I don't knit, but I like to look at knit. And I commission people out to knit things, and then I show it. So, you know, I guess we do talk about it. All right, anyways. And below in the description box, there's a link to over 1,000 crochet tutorials. You know, they're all free for you to enjoy. So if that sounds something that you're interested in, please subscribe. You don't want to miss out on any of the cool content. I mean, this is a cool crochet channel. All crochet channels are cool. This is pretty cool too. So let's begin. I got a yarn review for you today. This is a well-anticipated yarn review, actually. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Pioneer Woman. Some of you are not, because I had mentioned her on a couple Walmart trips, and some of you did not know who she was. Well, she's actually a very famous food blogger. She actually just started out blogging. She made a personal blog on the internet, and Food Network found her somehow, and she got her own show, and she lives on a ranch, and all of a sudden she's such a beautiful woman. I just love her so much. I mean, there's mixed reviews on her. You either love her or you don't. I love her. And then she got into Walmart, and once you get into Walmart, you're in, you know. So she makes everything that you can think of. She started out with dishes, you know, like pots and pans and dishes, and of course I have all her pots and pans and all her dish sets. Towels, I have all her dish towels. You know, she started out with kitchen stuff. Then she moved on to clothing. And she moved on to, I don't know, bedding. Every single thing that you can think of, she moved on to. She moved on to yarn as well. I do not know if she knits and crochets herself. Some people have asked me that. I don't know. But that doesn't matter to me, because I love her stuff so much, and I have quite a collection of her stuff, that the yarn colors that she uses matches all her other palettes of things. It matches her bedroom sheets and her curtains and her clothes and her pots and pans and her kitchen. Everything is just like the same color palette. You know what I mean? I love her a lot. Now, if you don't, I understand. Not everybody's, you know. I always once heard, if everybody likes you, then you're doing something wrong. So not everybody likes her, but I absolutely do. And a lot of other people do, I've seen as well. So I'm going to review some new yarn that she came out with, and I'm super excited to show you what she came out with. So she already had a cotton yarn line that she came out with a couple years ago, which I already reviewed. It's on my channel. And then she came out with this big, thick chenille type yarn, which I already reviewed. It's on my channel as well. Now, these are some acrylics that she just came out with. So why don't we go over them? I think they're beautiful, but to each their own, right? Now, remember, my reviews are opinion based. They are not factual. I mean, they're factual as the things that I tell you about them. I mean, I look it up on the internet and read it to you. But as far as what I say about the yarn, it's my own personal opinion. And my own personal opinion, it can differ greatly from person to person. And that's okay, because how boring it would be if we were all the same. That would be very, very boring, wouldn't it? The boringest. All right, let's begin. So she has two new acrylic lines. Why don't we start with the cake line first? All right, she came out with some cakes. So this is the cakes. I had to drive to a Walmart an hour away from me, the smallest Walmart I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know if you saw that video. In the most rural area that I've ever seen. All it was corn and bean fields. And I'm surrounded by corn and bean fields, but this place was extremely, there was like a house every 2 miles. It's fine. I like rural areas, but I get to the Walmart, I'm like, man, this Walmart is super small. They're probably not even going to have the yarn, even though it said it did on the internet. And I get there, and they got the best yarn aisle I've ever seen best yarn aisle ever that I've ever seen at any Walmart. You should check out that video. It's pretty good. So whoever takes care of that Walmart's yarn aisle loves yarn. They must be a crocheter or a knitter, because it was very well taken care of and very well stocked. All right, so these cakes right here, let's go over them. Pioneer Woman. I absolutely adore her. Now, these are acrylic yarn cakes. Durable construction, vibrant colors, good stitch definition. Well, we're going to test that out and see. It's classified as a CYC weight, medium weight number 4. For those of you that don't know what CYC stands for, that stands for the Craft Yarn Council. By their definition, it is classified as a 4 weight. I have noticed, in my opinion, sometimes they're wrong, but to each their own, right? Everybody's different on weights of yarn as well. So you see what you see. It says that a knitting needle recommendation is a 4.5 millimeter, and a crochet recommendation hook is a 5 millimeter. It is 100% acrylic, machine wash on gentle and tumble dry on low. There are 312 yards or 285 meters, 5.3 ounces or 150 grams. Made in Turkey, and this is, I've had people tell me it was made by other yarn companies. It is not. It is made by Walmart. Just like Walmart's Mainstay is made by Walmart. So it's the Pioneer Woman and the Pioneer Woman logo or registered trademark of the Pioneer Woman, licensed and distributed by Walmart Incorporated. So you know how Walmart has their Mainstay line? This is the Pioneer Woman line because they own the Pioneer Woman's merch. Well, she has so much in their Walmart. I feel like, you know, everything that they make it's made by Walmart from her. So, you know, wherever Walmart, this was made in Turkey. Okay. So each one has like a color palette of the colors that are in the cake. See that? Like that. Okay, so all these cakes that I'm going to show you, she has 8 different colors available at the making of the video, which is 8/4/2023. She has 8 of the cakes. They are all self-striping, as you can see, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors of stripes. These look, as far as the look of it, it's very similar to mandala yarn, all right? But it's a 4 weight. So here's the 4 weight. That's much thicker than a mandala. You know, a mandala runs on that thinner 3 weight side. This is a nice thick 4. But as the way that the colors, you know, there's 5 colors, and the way it's kind of easy, this would be easy to color control if you're big on that. I like to color control. This is one color that she has. Now this color is called Coral Stripes. Now they are mix and match, but she doesn't have a lot of colors out yet. If it does well, I'm certain that she'll do more. So we'll go over the cakes first. Coral Stripes, very pretty. This one is my favorite of all the cakes. Very, very pretty. And then we have Brilliant Blooms. Ooh, that one's pretty. So if you know anything about the Pioneer Woman, you're going to know right away that these are in line with her color palettes. I would get some towels or dish towels and stuff to show you that they do match. You can just take my word for it that this matches her dishes and her clothing and all that stuff. She has a set color palette that she uses. So even if she doesn't knit and crochet, that's fine, because she came out with a yarn for knitters. I don't know if she does, but even if she doesn't, I don't care about that, because she came out with a line for knitters and crocheters in case they wanted to make a throw blanket to match the comforter that they bought in her signature color palette, you know, or she wants to make dish towels to match the pots and pans that came out in her, you know, her signature color palette. So that's why she did that. Okay, let's move on. So in the cake line, she had 5 of the stripes, and she has 3 solids to match. So this one is called Keepsake Floral, and they all have 5 colors in them. I gotta pull some of this out here. You got a bag of Pioneer Woman. This one is pretty. I like this one. Fancy Flourish. Ooh, pretty. I like to color control, so I think these would be perfect for me because they're a 4-way and they're going to be easy to color control. This one as well is very pretty. This one is called Teal Stripes. So there are 5 different colors of blue in there. So those are her striped cakes. So she has 3 solids that are mixy-matchy. Well, they're supposed to be mixy-matchy. So she has a red, which I'm going to make something out of these 2 right here. This is going to be a blanket, and this is going to be the border. Isn't that going to be beautiful? Yes, it is. So the red. She also has pink. Now, this pink is not exactly the same color pink that's in here or that's in any of them. But I think it's close enough to her color palette that it's going to work if you wanted to use it as a border, or you could use it solid by itself. And then she has a teal here. I think it's teal. Let's look and see. Yes, teal. This is her solid teal, which would match up with some of her stripes here that have the teal color in them. This one says it has teal. You can see that it's not exactly the same color, but I think it would still work out because it's in within her color palette of the colors that she chooses. So those are the 3 solids that she has available right now. Those are the 4-weight acrylic cakes. Now these run $6.98, I think, or $6.97 at Walmart. At the making of the video, they are not available online. I'm sure they will be, hopefully, eventually. I don't know. It took a long time for Mainstay to be available online. But they are in select stores. So, how do they feel? You know what they feel like to me? Walmart's Mainstay. Have you ever felt Walmart's Mainstay? That's what these cakes feel like to me. They are a value acrylic yarn. That's what they are. And they are $6.97 or $6.98 for 312 yards. Now, I know a lot of people said that was way too much money. You know, that depends on how you look at it, really. If you really like the Pioneer Woman, which I do, and you have a lot of her stuff, and you want to make things to match the other things that you have, such as her household products, it's a good deal because it's all in her color palette range, you know what I mean? Specifically set in the range to match her other items that she sells, blankets and pots and pans and towels and whatever. So it's a good deal that way, if you think about it like that. But if you're not a big fan of the Pioneer Woman, I could see how you might think it's a little expensive because, you can get Mandala $1 cheaper, more yardage, but you have to remember that it is a very lightweight 3. So, and this is a 4-weight. So, it's probably not going to be too much of a price difference once you get them crocheted up and see how the size difference in them, you know what I mean? There's more yardage in the 3-weight because the 3-weight doesn't go as far as a 4-weight. So you just have to kind of think about it like that. So yes, it does feel like Walmart's Mainstay. I don't have a problem with Walmart's Mainstay. I actually do like it better than Red Heart. Don't hate me on that. Leave the hate in the comments below, please, so I can delete them. I don't have a problem with Red Heart. I use it all the time. In fact, I have a project going with Red Heart right now. I have no problem with Red Heart Super Saver. And I have no problem with Walmart's Mainstay. I use them both. But I just think that this feels a little above Red Heart Super Saver. Maybe certain color. Certain colors of Red Heart feels a little bit better. And some of them are a little stiffer. This just feels like Walmart's Mainstay. And it might be. You never know. Just in different colors. Okay, so that's her cakes. Alright, now we're going to move on. She has 5 more new ones. And these are a lightweight 3. And they are in a ball. Now, I was able to get these at my local Walmart. They had these and only these. So, we have... This is 394 yards of a 100% acrylic, so it's a value acrylic. I'm just going to put that right out. It's a value acrylic. It feels like Walmart's Mainstay yarn. And it's a lightweight number 3. knitting needle recommendation, 3.75 crochet hook, 5mm. Okay. And they do have the colors there that you could mix and match with if you chose. That kind of makes me think that she's going to come out with new colors because of the colors that she has on the palette there that shows you what colors are in it. All right, so again, Walmart mainstay, value acrylic, pretty label, durable construction, vibrant color, good stitch definition, machine wash and dry. All right, made in Turkey by Walmart. Coral stripes, which is my favorite of the balls of yarn. It's kind of similar to this one, I guess, a little. Now it's not really similar at all, is it? Now it don't have no pink in it. Coral stripes. Remember, this is a 3-weight. Oh, let me show you that 3-weight. Here we go. It's a nice 3-weight. And then she has this one, which is teal stripes. Very pretty. I guess that might be kind of similar to this one, only this is a 4-weight in cake form. Teal stripes. And then she has one more variegated. It's not variegated, it's striped, self-striping. The stripes are not very long, though. I can say that. Brilliant blooms. Was there one of those too? In cake form? It was. Similar, but yet different. It's got that bright color right there. Anyways, this way. And then she had, excuse me, only 2 solids to mix and match with. She had a blue and a coral. Now, I think these 2 are my favorites. Beautiful, beautiful matching. Blanket, border, blanket, border, or separate. But these 2 are my favorites, which I have plans for these. And then she has a blue. Now this blue, like I said, I can't really get it to match any of the other 2 up extremely close. I mean, it's close, but not exact. But I think it'll work because, like I said, it's within her color palette of colors. Now, it does match some of these, but see that blue in there? This is a 3-weight and this is a 4-weight. I'm not big on mixing weights, but some people do. So these are $5.97 for a lightweight 394 yards. Again, some people were saying that's like overpriced and that she was ripping people off. She's not ripping anybody off. It's just what it's just what it is, okay? She's famous on the Food Network. She's famous in Walmart. So with famous people's yarns, you got to pay a little bit more money. That's just the way it is. I mean, like Joann's came out with an Eddie Bauer yarn, which I have and I'll review. You're going to have to pay for that name. I mean, you just have to. And there's lots of yarns. Sesame Street, you had to pay extra for that. Crayola yarn, you had to pay extra for the name. That's just the way it works in the world. I mean, there's no getting around it. If someone popular name is on something, you're going to pay a little extra for it. But plus I said, it helps people who already love her and have her things, that it's in matching color palettes to the things they might already have in their home and they want to make something to match. Okay, so that's all the colors she has. Now, let's talk about what it looks like knitted, crocheted, and wash and dried. Want to? I'm going to take you into my room that's a little bit brighter. Right, so I used this 3-weight yarn here to do some samples with and to wash and dry it. This is the teal stripes, and this is a lightweight number 3. Now, I did use a 5mm hook as per instructions, and I crocheted with it. It crocheted very nice, and it does have excellent stitch definition, as you can see those bobbles there. I had no problem at all crocheting with it. It did not split. It did not cause me any problems. But it does feel like a value acrylic, you know? It feels like I keep saying it, Walmart's mainstay. So as you can see, there's no problems with it, crocheting with it. I think it's really nice as far as the way it crochets. And I think that the way it looks is really nice. You could definitely see those bobbles. Sorry, the bobbles did hit that dark color, but you could still see them quite well. I like it. Let's pull it out, see if it comes out. I think it will, because it's, you know, it's an acrylic in it. It's not going to hang up on itself. Well, I can't never say never, I guess. Let's wait till we get to those bobbles. Want to? That's the real test. Bobbles. No, it's coming out just fine. Okay, and I knew that it would. Now this is what it looks like knitted up. I'm sorry, I knitted this up on my smaller sock machine because my bigger Addie was having a little bit of problems today. So this is what it looks like knitted up. You can see the color changes in it here. So this is kind of how it looks. There's actually two colors here. There's a kind of a bigger strip of blue and then two teals beside it. So that is the color, the way it goes. We got a big strip of white, light blue, and teal, or light teal. And then you got a big strip of blue with the darker teal and the light teal. So that's kind of the way it works. And then the white, it has specks of blue. I like it. Now this I did put into the washer and dryer as per instructions. So it did soften up after wash, which I figured that it would, because, you know, a lot of acrylics will do that. So it feels softer. I did wash it like it said, and I did use a fabric softener on that, and I dried it as it said. Does it still look the same? It fuzzed up a bit, as you can see there. See the fuzzies on it? It still looks good though, and it still feels good. But yes, you can definitely see that it did get some peeling going on. I don't think it's anything too bad, but over time it might take its toll, you know. Like a lot of the basic acrylics, it will, over time, peel more and more. But, you know, they always got those scratchy things that you can get the peels off with to keep your garments looking nice. It's nice and sturdy because it's a nice value acrylic. I don't have a problem with it. I don't. And like I said, it turned out much softer after wash and dry with some fabric softener. It's beautiful. All right. I showed you what it looked like crocheted. I showed you what it looked like knitted. I showed you what it looked like coming out of the washer and dryer. Feels nicer coming out of the washer and dryer. Softer. But it did peel a bit. Nothing that I can't handle. But I hand wash anything I make anyway, so it doesn't matter to me about the dryer. Okay, so
all right, let's go back in here.
My final thoughts on the yarn. Opinion based only. Remember, opinion based only. I'm a huge Pioneer Woman fan, so of course I'm gonna like the yarn. I'm gonna like it. It's very resemblant of Walmart's Mainstay. It is a value acrylic. Okay, the price does not bother me. I don't think that she's scamming anybody, and I don't think that she's out of line asking that price. I'll pay it. I paid it. I will continue to pay it if I want it again. Like I said, I don't think that it's a bad price. I think the colors that she came out with are absolutely stunning, and they do match all the other things that she makes in Walmart, which is a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Now, if you're not a big, huge fan of the Pioneer Woman, you might not like this. It might not be your thing, because you can get Red Heart Super Saver, you know, for a little cheaper than what you can this. So, you know, this is going to be you like the Pioneer Woman, you like her colors, or maybe you don't know who the Pioneer Woman is, but you like this color palette. It's really going to be whether you like the color palette or not, whether you'll pay for it. But like I said, in today's market, I don't think that's bad, especially it having a famous person's name on it. And you know that goes with anybody, and it doesn't just work with yarn. It goes with anything. Anybody that puts something out, and it's got they're you know, they're famous, you know, they're well known, it's going to have a higher price tag. That's just the way the world works. You can't get around it. I mean, That's just the way it is. I mean, it sucks that it's that way, but it's understandable because they take their time and they build themselves up so big, they deserve a little bit of a markup. You know what I mean? They made themselves, I can't explain it, on the markup when it comes to people that are well known. They made themselves, you know, who they are. So, you know, a little markup is just what they get. So that's it. I like it. I'll use it again, but it is just a personal preference. I like it because of her color palette. I have so much of her stuff. I can make so many things to match the things that I have already. Now, I always recommend, though, that you just buy one ball and give it a go. Because when you feel it, it's going to feel like Walmart's Mainstay, maybe even Red Heart Super Saver to you. But it does soften up after a wash, because I did do it, and I showed you what it looked like. It does have very nice stitch definition. They were very correct in saying that in the label. Good stitch definition. It does have that. I have seen some projects made out of this color on my Facebook page. It's very pretty. Although this is self-striping yarn, it is short stripes. It's going to be a little hard for me to color control that. But I won't color control that. But I will color control these because these are much easier to color control than the short stripes. But yeah, I like it. I'm going to buy it again. But you know, to each their own. If you've seen the Pioneer Woman and you felt it, or you had the Pioneer Woman and you tried it, please let me know in the comments what you think. And please don't leave no bad comments about the Pioneer Woman. I had to delete so many people just talking super trash about the Pioneer Woman for I have no what the reason was. They didn't even give me a reason. But just talking like extreme trash about her, we don't do that here, okay? You don't like her, you don't. You don't have to tell me all kinds of bad stuff about her. Like, you know, she's a scam artist and, you know, she's just this and that and this and that, but you don't tell me why you think that. I ask you why you think that, and then you don't tell me because you know, really don't have no reason to think that, because it's really not true. She's just a woman like everybody, you know, like she's trying to make it just like we all are, right? But you know, I'm not trying to defend her. I just don't think she did anything wrong coming out with a yarn line. A lot of people think that she did something wrong coming out with a yarn line because she might not knit or crochet. Now, nobody knows if she does or not. But even if she doesn't, neither does Eddie Bauer. And they came out with a yarn line. Neither does Juicy Couture, but they came out with a yarn line. All right? So, neither does Sesame Street, neither does Crayola. None of them crochet, but they all have yarn lines. All right? I'm going to go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please. Hate below in the comments. I'll just have to delete it, though, if it's real nasty. I'd appreciate it if it wasn't any, though. We like positivity around my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay. Bye, guys. Hey, I like this a lot, in case you didn't notice.